Hello, everybody. It is 2:57 p.m. Central Time on December 30th, 2016. It's already probably going into December 31st for many of my viewers overseas. Guys, it is now officially New Year's Eve. Can you believe it? 2017. Finally. Finally, 2016 is almost over. Oh boy, I just wanted to jump on real quick, let you know a few things are going on right now. Last night after I did my update, New Zealand was struck again, and pretty much at the same location, struck by a 5.4. Additionally, out here to the west, here, hold on, let me shut a door here. Sorry, I got some cats doing something out front. Additionally, to the 5.4, Japan was struck off the coast of Honshu by a 5.5 earthquake. And you may remember last night, we issued the warning for the coast of Honshu and said to watch out for up to a 6. So here we are, we're at 5.5. We're within 1/2 magnitude, but guess what? They've been downgrading almost all the earthquakes in the West Pacific by a 1/2 magnitude. Did you guys know that? And we've caught that the USGS has not been reporting 5.0 and greater earthquakes around the planet. There has been roughly 260 5.0s in the last 10 days, and the USGS only reported about 30 of them. Again, guys, 260 different 5.0s striking in the past 9 to 10 days, and the USGS only reporting 30 of them. So next year, when you hear anybody quoting numbers like, oh, there were this many earthquakes last year, you need to correct them, tell them they're wrong, tell them they missed about 300 or 400 different earthquakes, and when they say we're missing 300 or 400 5.0s, what are you talking about? That's like the whole year's total. And you'll say, well, it turns out that all struck in 10 days' time that USGS didn't report. And you can honestly say that with confidence. Okay, so when I really start to look at this and I wonder why are they not reporting 5.0 and greater earthquakes, it's because they don't want people to know there's an increase. They want everything to stay normal for the numbers, the books, and everything. They don't want to have to answer a bunch of questions. They don't want to have to do any of that. But take a look at the screen here. Look at our magnitudes detected, and then you're going to see this falls well within the magnitudes that we were looking for to strike, going up to 6. So you see that there. It goes up to 6, 6.1. Okay, several stations reporting 5.9, 6.1, 5.8, mid-range 5, mid-range 5. They have a few lows that bring it down. 6.1 again. I mean, this many 6s detected means that it's more like an upper 5 into 6, not a 5.5. They need to throw out those low numbers. Literally, look, a 7 detected, 7.1. But they need to throw out the low numbers and throw out the ultra-high numbers. So throw out the 7, throw out the 3s, and then go with the mid-range. And then you'll start to see we're more like a 5.9, 6.0. And just keep going down the list. You can do your averages yourself. So the coast of Japan struck, as expected, right in the warn zone, in the warn time. If you want to see the warning, it's over on my channel, titled Last Night, Earthquake Nightly Update, Japan on Watch. So there's no question about it, Japan was on watch. Again, also, the other location we warned, over here in the Midwest United States, starting to swarm out at this point. Take a look at it, topping out at 3.1. If you're a new viewer, you probably don't know what's at this location. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I would like you guys to be aware that these earthquakes that are striking in the Midwest, if you're not aware of it, are man-made. Well, I shouldn't say fully man-made. The reason their cause is that they're made by man, but that the reason that the earthquake is striking there is a natural one. I know that sounds a little confusing. So they're man-made, but they're natural. Well, the reason natural earthquakes are striking in a man-made operation, I should say, is because humans have stepped in and started to drill deep down into the crust in search of gas and oil. Well, I can't seem to search this out right now. Isn't that strange? Okay, well, let's try it again here. Let's try and open up Google Earth one more time. This will be the first time I haven't been able to look up a coordinate ever. Very strange. Let's paste it in again. Here are our coordinates for the earthquake. Okay. Well, now it works. Interesting. Okay, well, second time's a charm. As we zoom in, oh, look what we have right here. Look what we have right here next to it. You see this? This is a frack well, but there's so many more in the area, it's not even funny. Like, for instance, just south, there's 2 more right here. These are oil. Those are oil pumps. There's another there. And over to the east, take a look. Another here. Isn't that wild? Okay, and we've got many, many more. I mean, that is just, here's Perry, Oklahoma. They are surrounding the region. I mean, we're talking all over the place. Hundreds of them. For every one that I just showed you, there's probably another 200 or 300 surrounding this that are not marked currently. Okay, so swarm breaking out there as expected. We talked about this. We talked about the likelihood of a swarm versus a large earthquake. Now the swarm is hitting. Japan hit as expected. Oklahoma hit as expected. New Zealand. Well, now New Zealand, we're looking for new movement to strike in the catcher's mitt position near White Island. But another mid-range 5 just struck last night north of the island. So that might take it up a little bit, the threat level in the catcher's mitt position in New Zealand. Additionally, take a look at here. See where our arrow points travels underneath down to our X marks the spot. Near 5.0 struck there. Why would a near 5 strike there? Well, let's go back a couple days to the multiple 4s that struck along the coast of South America. If we add those up, we have a 4.6 plus another 4.5. That equals 4. Last portion for that location. Now, over in Europe, we got a little bit different thing going on right now. Take a look at it. Switzerland being hit on all sides. Yeah, north at German border, east at the Austria border, west at the France border. The only thing missing right now is another earthquake down to the south, right along the Italian border. Now, that's different. This is something different than what we normally see. Normally, we see North Sea swarming out. Well, if you look at the feed here, you'd think there weren't any earthquakes even happening there right now. Well, unfortunately, we had a breakdown of the feed last night, and I'm going to get it reinstalled today, so I can't consult the INGV Italian list today. But I can already tell you, there's a huge swarm happening right now in central Italy. We're not getting the full picture from anyone. So not only is there missing 5.0s, 300 of them over the past 10 days, but there's missing swarms of noteworthy earthquakes in locations where we would expect to see them. They're occurring. We're just not being shown them. They're not reporting them to us. They're acting like they're not happening. They're not keeping track of it. They're not documenting it. They'll come back next year and say there was nothing there. They'll say, oh, next year, you watch. Some full of himself or herself geologist next year will be like, there was 400 different earthquakes last year. It was fully in line with the way it should be every year. No increase happened last year at all. And you'll be able to just laugh at them and just mock and ridicule them and say, you're a scientist? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And then they'll raise their eyes and they'll say, well, of course USGS misses some. And then you'll say, no, they missed hundreds in one day. What are you talking about? In 9 days' time, they missed 300 5.0 earthquakes. What are you talking about, you talking head, bloviating whatever? And you can say that next year, just in a few days' time, it'll be next year. And we're going to already have the prognosticators who show up on all the different videos quoting earthquake numbers. Now you can quote back to them that they're wrong. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome when they come in with the USGS numbers next year. And we can just tear it apart. And make them feel foolish for using their numbers. Be like, ha ha ha, you're relying on bad data. You know, that kind of stuff. And they'll just feel dumb as a box of rocks for repeating that earthquake information from the USGS. It's almost as dumb as their little declaratory statement on their website, the USGS website, that says it's impossible to forecast an earthquake because it's too complex. That's just the most boneheaded thing I've ever read. It must have been written by like an intern or something. You know what I mean? All right, so it is what it is. So Japan hit as expected. Midwest swarming as expected. Movement down around South America as expected. And now we've got these deep earthquakes to contend with that could be causing larger movement in the next couple days. Yesterday's deep earthquakes mean today's shallow, larger earthquakes. Understand that. Now, I don't know how many people are in here right now, Let's see, 100 and, well, not 182,000, 504. If you're new, please subscribe. I'm trying to get my channel to a place where it's at least respectable on YouTube, number-wise. Right now, it's still really low. But, well, low in consideration to other channels on YouTube that are actually doing huge. So we're trying to get it to a place where people will pay attention, and we know that the bigger the number, the more people pay attention. So please subscribe, just to grow it. That's it. All right, so I'll be back if anything else happens. Don't be scared, of course. Be prepared. Being prepared means knowing what's going on around the planet, watching the progression. Speaking of which, the progression, see the red lines that we've got on the globe here, took me 7 years to develop this. And last night, the biggest geophysics channel on YouTube, Suspicious Observers, saw fit that they were going to make a post saying that a guy on YouTube, me, has stolen these. And that they're trying to say some guy in 2012 developed these. Yeah, they're trying to say a guy in 2012 developed these. Now, here's the funny thing. I've been around since 2010. We figured out the progression year 1. Now, it took many years for me to even get it down for all the places on the planet. It took 7 years of research to figure out where every place on the planet moves to, starting in 2010. So maybe somebody, you know, this is really bothering me, guys, because when Suspicious Observers, Ben Davidson is basically over there, him and his buddy Hook Echo are basically saying that I stole something. Again, they're now trying to say I stole something again. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. How do you defend yourself again from another false accusation from the same group? They tried to say I stole deep earthquakes. Okay, now they're trying to say I stole the red arrows. The red arrows are from years of research on my part. I'll defend myself in a court of law. Let's put it before a jury, Ben. I know you're a lawyer. Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers, claims to be a lawyer who argued cases before the Ohio Supreme Court. Ben, bro, I guess I'm going to have to hire a team of lawyers, and we'll just have to bill you. You know what I mean? You can pay my legal costs. You know how that goes. Because I would love to get into a court of law, and we can just go back and pull all my videos going back to 2010. You know, the ones that you guys got deleted when you falsely accused me of threatening your family. You know, my first years of videos got deleted because of Ben Davidson, right? Like, I lost my first year's worth of videos because this dude falsely accused me of threatening his family, and YouTube shut me down. It took me a month to get my channel back, and when I got it back, I lost my first month's worth of videos. Or, I'm sorry, my first year's worth of videos. Hundreds of videos gone thanks to Ben Davidson. False accusations previously. Now here we are again, and Ben Davidson is over there again today. Bringing up, I don't know why he had it out for me over HARP. You remember this? It all started with HARP. He said HARP couldn't modify the weather. He said I was a fraud for reporting on HARP. He made every topic that I've ever talked about his pet project. So if I'm talking about HARP, he's Mr. HARP. If I'm talking about earthquakes, he's Mr. Earthquakes. If I'm talking about solar, he's Mr. Solar. He appeared after me on YouTube and has been a copycat ever since. That's what he is. I'm calling it out. Every topic I've ever talked about, he's followed up with. Nobody can deny that, not even his viewers. So, I mean, he used to be solar until I became the earthquake guy. Then he came in and tried to be the earthquake guy. It's weird. It's really weird. And now they're there accusing me again today. What do I say back? I'm not saying anything back. I'm saying something publicly, and I put out the olive branch to them at Christmas time in the hopes that they would want to get along, and this is how they respond. I mean, it's schizophrenic. In one side of their mouth, they're saying Dutchsinse is an earthquake forecaster. Other side of their mouth, they're saying I rip stuff off and that I don't deserve any credit. And then they take what I do, rename it something else that they say is what it is, and use it. That's what they did with this blot echo thing. They took my deep earthquake thing, called it a blot echo, tried to say I stole it, and then used it as their own. That's what they're doing with the red arrows now. They're trying to say somebody else came out with it so they can use it. And then they're putting arrows on their maps as of today. Yeah, they're copying, guys. They're putting arrows, red arrows on their maps and stuff. So if you didn't need, I mean, if you needed any more proof that they are straight up copycats, just watch what happens when I disappear for a week or two. They flop every time on their forecast. So that's just proof positive right there. I gotta say something because I'm being falsely accused and nobody seems to care. I went over there to see if anybody said anything to him, and nobody said anything to him. Being falsely accused by the biggest geophysics channel on YouTube of theft, and I'm not going to ignore it, guys. There's no way I'm not going to ignore it. You can tell me all you want, let it go, don't say anything. I'm not going to ignore when I'm falsely accused. Are you going to ignore if you're falsely accused? You get falsely accused of theft. You going to sit there and let somebody just sit there and say it over and over again to the whole world? He stole it, and you just go quiet. You're like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. Really? You don't want to say anything to defend yourself? Really? How about this? Big middle finger it off because you guys falsely accused me of everything under the sun. Wow. So anyways, the areas we talked about have been hit. We're looking for new activity to strike. Be on watch. Okay? Be on watch, have a plan, be prepared, and show much love. You got to show much love to the people who hate you. So, I know S.O. Ben Davidson hates me. I know he does. He said the worst things in the world about me. Still is. So he absolutely despises me. And I'm supposed to love him back, man. That's what sucks. But I've got to, I'm the one who preaches much love. I've got to be the much love. Sometimes that totally sucks. But I will be. So don't go over and say anything nasty to him. If you go over there, just tell him Dutch supported you and Dutch actually tried to get his message out to you, and I don't know why you guys keep slamming Dutch so hard. Could you please just leave me alone? That's what I'm asking. Could you please just leave me alone and go do your own thing? Could you please just do your own forecasting without invoking my name once a week or once a day? Could you please stop falsely accusing me of stealing things when I didn't? Own forecasting without invoking my name once a week or once a day? Could you please stop falsely accusing me of stealing things when I didn't? I understand you don't want to believe I discovered these things, but to accuse me of theft is an entirely different thing. You don't want to believe I came up with it. You don't want to go back and watch the videos back through 2010 that show it. You want to falsely accuse me of doing things I didn't do, Ben Davidson and Hook Echo. You guys are freaking wrong, man. That is so wrong. So wrong. I mean, we could bring up Ben and the solar and astrotometry and how he took coronal holes. I don't do that, though. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and make long declaratory statements about how Ben took his solar information from someone else when I think there is evidence of that. But it's YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, nobody cares whether or not Ben took that stuff. Nobody does. Ben knows that. That's why he did it. That's why you guys are doing what you're doing now. You know, nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're all just going to tell me to move along and allow you guys just to say what you want about me and let it stick. And thousands of people will believe it. It's so wrong, man. It's false. It's libel. It is falsely accusing me of theft. I don't know how much more just to say what you want about me and let it stick. And thousands of people will believe it. It's so wrong, man. It's false. It's libel. It is falsely accusing me of theft. I don't know how much more illegal you could get if you falsely accuse someone of theft publicly. That is basically trying to ruin my reputation and my business online by false accusations. And they tried to falsely accuse me of threatening his family. They tried to falsely accuse me of being a hacker. A hacker. His website got messed with by somebody, and they accused me. And I had to come back and say, I wasn't even not only at my house, I was out in the woods with my uncle cutting down a whole set of trees for 4 days. I didn't have access to a computer. Didn't even have access to a mobile phone. Once they got wind of that, they said, oh, it must have been one of his friends. Must have been one of Dutch's friends. Why would my friends cut? I don't have any friends who are hackers, but why would my friends even know about suspicious observers? Why am I out cutting down trees? I'm just saying, I have to say something, guys, because they falsely accused me again today of theft. If I ignore it, it won't go away. You know how I know it won't go away if I ignore it? Because the last times I ignored their false accusations, when he accused me of threatening his family, I tried to ignore it. Guess what happened? My YouTube channel got shut down and I lost a year's worth of videos thanks to Ben Davidson. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm starting to get angry. So I'm going to take a break. Peace out.